Yashica 635, introduced in 1958. Wait, you were watching this to see a product used in the industry today, weren't you? Well, you are. Film cameras are still used in the industry today in many forms, whether it be for movie posters, billboard ads, magazine articles, or other forms of digital media, because film can be processed and produced as high-quality digital images. And it can be done cheap, and I'll get back to cheap in a second. But all you have to do this is whenever you go pick up your prints, you ask for a digital copy as well. So you get your nice, glossy, shiny prints back, but you also get a digital copy back on CD, which you can take home, put it on your computer, take it into Photoshop, Lightroom, make as many prints as you want, do whatever you want with it. Now back to the cheap. So this camera is a medium format. That means it makes a 6 by 6 centimeter or 4 by 5 centimeter negative image, or the equivalent of a 1,140 megapixel digital image. Now I'll give you a second to process that information. A 1,140 megapixel digital image. Carry the one. Man, that's a lot. Yeah, it is. So a 1,140 megapixel camera, if it could even be produced today, would cost thousands of dollars. This camera cost me $185. And that's the biggest reason that these types of cameras are still widely used today by artists, filmmakers, journalists, and others who want to convey feeling or emotion in a photograph, not to mention being able to blow it up to a 60-foot wide billboard, that they can do it on a budget. So while digital photography is widespread, often it comes across as flat or it fails to capture the moment as well as films. Well, that can't be right. I just spent $1,200 on my top-of-the-line Nikon with 12.4 megapixels, and it sees on dark, and it does great. No doubt it does. However, if we were to take two examples, and I have two right here, one with a digital camera and one with a film camera, you'll notice that there's more fine detail in the film photo. So on the photo on the right, this one has got blacks running together. There's no real separation. And this was done on the same printer as the one that I'm about to show you here. This one is from a 1965 film camera, the 35 millimeter. And you'll see that there is a ton of separation in the hair. The shadows are well defined, but the blacks and the shadows are separated. So you don't see a blending of them. You actually see what your eye would see in the situation. So with film, you have certain blemishes. Sometimes you have light leaks or dust or film that just has gotten old. You know, like this one was taken on expired film purposely just to get this grainy effect. It's got some really great qualities in it, I think. So with these blemishes or mistakes, they can all be corrected in Photoshop and post-production if you want. So you can take it into Lightroom or Aperture, Photoshop, take it all out, put more in, play around with it, do whatever you want to do with it. Same way with the digital image, you can add these effects to it, but it's still not going to come across like film. Film and digital cameras have been meshing for years, where digital has taken over. All that digital is really doing is trying to mimic film. As simple as that. So, the first thing I want to show you here is the film that's going to be used in this camera. So, this is 120 film. That's a medium format size, like I told you earlier. So, let's compare it to something that you're a little bit more accustomed to, probably, which this is 35 millimeter film. Now, 35 millimeter film is great. Love it. Shot it for years. A 35 millimeter produces just that. It produces a 35 millimeter square image on a negative. Now that's equivalent to 87 megapixels. So it's still a great format to use. So now let's take a look at what we're here to see. The Yashica 635. What we see first when we look at the camera is that it has two lenses. Does it mean that you take pictures with both lenses? No. This is a twin lens reflex camera, or what's known as a TLR in photography circles. So the top lens is your viewing lens. This is what you're actually going to see through whenever you're framing your shot, not the camera. The camera will use the bottom lens. This is known as the taking lens. Let me demonstrate how this works. Open the top of the camera and you'll notice a very large viewing screen. This is a single reverse mirrored screen. That means it will not move with you. If you move to the right, it will appear that you're moving to the left inside the viewfinder. But don't worry, it just takes a couple minutes and you'll get the hang of this. The next thing you might notice in here is the red rectangle in the center of the viewing screen. That's very important. That means that this camera also takes 35mm film with an adapter. So that makes it even more versatile and more desirable. So to focus, we simply turn the knob on the right of the camera, looking through the viewfinder, and you'll see everything come into perfect focus. Now, Yashica added another accessory built into this, and that's a magnifier. If you look through this while framing your shot, you'll be able to fine-tune your focus. That's it, right? Focus, shoot. Wrong. Now that you have the focus, now you have to do the rest of the work, and that's going to be metering your subject. This can be done many ways, but the one that I found useful was this. It's an app on my iPhone. Just set your film speed. That can be found here on the box. Now I'm shooting 400, so this is what is known in your digital cameras as ISO. Next is the aperture. This is how much light you want to let in through the lens to expose the negative. And lastly, how long you want to expose the film. Then, whenever you're ready, you wind the film up, cock the shutter, and then you trip the shutter. And that's it. You just took your first analog photograph. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it's inspired you to go out and buy a film camera, get some film, start shooting with it, and just have fun. Get back to just basics. Digital cameras are great. You can go out and take 15,000 photographs at one time on a 16 gig card and never have to look at it. Or you can get a film camera, learn what you're doing, take some great family photographs, take some great nature shots. Get them back, some physical copies that you can actually put your hands on. You can touch, you can hold, you can show people, and you can share with everybody. But I hope you had fun. Hope you're interested in it. Thanks for watching this, and we'll see you next time. For more information on shooting film, please check out kenrockwell.com, popphoto.com, and flickr.com. Just wanted to share with you a little bit as a director's commentary of what I was trying to invoke in this video. I really hope that I rekindled a little piece of you that wants to go out and shoot on film again. How did I go about invoking these emotions? Well, I showed the basic camera operations. I gave a little bit of an explanation of how each translated into its digital counterpart, and I hope that I achieved what could be done with this old technology, and that it's not outdated. It's very much used nowadays. You just don't hear about it because of commercialization. How did I apply all three cognitive learning styles? Well, I did the visual, which was the video. The audio was, of course, me talking to the viewer. And the kinesthetic was the websites that I suggested that you go out, you search out, you try to find, and hopefully pick up a film camera and go out and start shooting and enjoy. So I hope this helped. I hope it was informative, and I hope that I gave you a little bit of insight into the film world. So thank you. Have a great day and enjoy shooting.